Greetings metalheads and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I have another episode of bands you need to hear for you. Another band recommendation that if you've never heard of this band, never checked them out, then you seriously need to, because this is some good frickin' metal. So today's recommendation falls firmly within the speed metal subgenre, which I have said numerous times. Not particularly keen on that tag or on that label. To me, speed metal is just music or metal that isn't quite thrash, but it's not quite heavy metal. A little bit too fast to be traditional heavy metal. A little bit too slow or a little bit too melodic, if you like, to be thrash. But on this occasion, I will grant that this band, Holy Terror, from the US of A, is certainly a speed metal band. So I'll let that go this time. So Holy Terror, a short-lived band really, existed between the years of about 1985 and 1991. Released 2 full-length albums and also had some other material around that as well. But this is a great freaking band. Now, it's such a shame that the band didn't kind of carry on after that very short period of time. Within that time, as I say, they released 2 albums, but they also did a couple of European tours, and I think they did a US tour as well. But they're a great band, absolutely brilliant. This is a fairly recent discovery for me. I found this particular box set is how I actually discovered the band. This is a Dissonance Records or Dissonance Productions kind of reissue compilation box set where we've got both of the full-length albums, Terror and Submission. Then we've got Mind Wars. We've also got El Revengo, a compilation, as well as a 4th disc, which is Live Terror. So we've got more like a collection of live material and a DVD as well. So this is a really cool thing, and I saw it for next to nothing. To be honest, it was very inexpensive. It was about £10, I think. And I had heard the name in reference to the speed metal, in reference to thrash, to US kind of heavy metal, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give it a go, and I'm bloody glad that I did, because this absolutely rips. So I found that box set, and then a short while ago I found, again these are, I've talked about the Back on Black Records reissues. These are out on Back on Black Records, funnily enough, reissues, really nice vinyl copies. I've got all of the albums. I'll go through them in sequence. So this is the first album. This is Terror and Submission. I believe this was 1986. I'm going to try and see. 1986, yeah. So, you know, this is a little bit too late, if you like, to be heavy metal. You know, the sort of the rising wave of heavy metal after following New Album. A little bit too late to be early thrash. I suppose it is still early, but in my mind, I tend to sort of consider between about 1982 to about 84, maybe 85, to be the kind of the early smelting pot era of thrash, where you had the debut from Metallica, you had Slayer rising up as well. So a little bit too late. However, this is absolutely original ripping stuff. I really love this one. This is the, as I said, this is the debut, but this is the more kind of heavy metal of the 2 albums. You do get some absolute belters though. And I do love that back artwork there. Very sinister, creepy stuff. And actually just their logo is creepy as hell. And the artwork to this one, it's all just creepy as hell. But it's good. It's bloody metal as you like. So, as I say, we've got some absolute rippers in the form of Black Plague and Evil Rising. Those kind of 2 first couple of tracks there, absolute belters. Love those. You've got Mortal Fear, which again is a very heavy metal, speed metal track. Well, more in the thrashier vein. It's on the faster end of the spectrum, if you like. But if you want a really good, stomping, grooving, heavy metal track, in the vein of sort of Maiden, in the vein of Judas Priest, but also with a real resonance of Running Wild. I don't know why, but there's something about that track. Maybe it's a similarity in some riffs or something. But the 5th track, Guardians of the Netherworld, is such a groovy, heavy metal stomper. I absolutely love that one. It's probably my favourite track on this album. And it also carries on in that sort of more heavy metal leaning kind of style, with tracks like Distant Calling, which is a really good track, and Terror and Submission, the title track. All of it, to be honest. Tomorrow's End is a real thrashy number. That's quite a speedy one. And then we've got the closing track, Alpha Omega, the bringer of balance. Absolutely brilliant. Start to finish, this is a great heavy metal ripper. I would say, overall, the sound and style of Holy Terror is a mixture of Agent Steel, of Iron Maiden, and a sprinkling of Slayer on top, just to give it that kind of abrasive edge. But members-wise, these guys are top-notch musicians. You cannot fault the musicianship. You've got some brilliant kind of very, very metal, very thrash, but also a little bit more on the sort of talented end of the spectrum. A brilliant singer, Keith Dean, who sadly I discovered is actually no longer with us. I think he passed away in about 2012, which is a great shame because it's a fantastic vocalist. You see the lineup there just on the bottom. Brilliant vocalist. He's got the power and he's got the talent of the likes of even John Cyrus from Agent Steel, but also Joey Belladonna from Anthrax, for example. Someone that can really sing, but also can do a bit of a more aggressive style. But as I say, brilliant stuff. Joe Mitchell, absolutely fantastic drummer. You've got brilliant rhythms, rhythm section from Mike Alvord, and then you've got some cracking leads as well from Kurt Kilfert, then Floyd Flannery on bass. All of the musicians, top notch. Cannot fault it. Absolutely love this album. This is, I don't know, I'd probably say that both albums are as good as each other, to be honest. This is the second album then. This is Mind Wars, and this was released a couple of years later, I believe. I can't quite recall off the top of my head. No, 1988. So yeah, a couple of years later. Again, we've got it in this lovely reissue format. Very creepy kind of Maiden-esque art on the back there. Hope you can see that. This is a belter. Kicking off with Judas Reward. That is a ripping track. Very fast. Killer riffs. It's the brilliance of the riffs that really stands out, as well as the vocal talent. Debt of Pain. Brilliant. Got very big, catchy chorus there. Immortal Wasteland. Love it. Title track. Or A Fool's Gold. Brilliant one. Damned by Judges is a standout. We've got this sort of this intro sample before we get this belting heavy metal stomper. Do Unto Others and Christian Resistance, the closing track, is a real speedy number. Thrashing, in fact. Absolutely brilliant. Love it. The riffs are killer. It's groovy as hell. It's kind of, to me, it does have that kind of thrashy element to it, but I think this is fantastic. Proper heavy, heavy metal. So those are our two sort of full-length albums. Such a shame they didn't do more, because those two albums are of such brilliance. Absolutely brilliant. But we have got this album. This is the El Revengo, which the album cover is really weird and creepy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of some sort of like Geiger style artwork. Really weird. But see what I mean with this artwork? It's throughout. They're really nice packages, actually. These reissues are really quality. Creepy art on the back there as well. Really high quality. So you've got the first disc there, kicking off with A Fool's Gold and Christian Resistance, Damned by Judges, from that brilliant Mind Wars album. Then we do get a few more sort of older tracks with Evil's Rising, Mortal Fear, Distant Calling. This is quite an enjoyable release as well. I think some of the versions do sound slightly different, but looking online, it just says it's a compilation. But it's a good starting point. If you were so inclined to not listen to the full albums and you actually wanted to get just an overview of all their stuff, then this is a good one to check out. It's just a nice collector's piece to have. And I did not pay very much at all for any of these. Then we've got the live recordings. Then we've got Live Terror. So it's actually, as I mentioned, it's kind of a compilation of different live recordings, because we've got tracks from live in Dendermonde, I believe, Belgium, all the way through there. Then we've got in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and then a couple of tracks from Milan, Italy. So, as I say, a bit of a live compilation, but absolutely storming stuff. This does, or these live recordings do have more the kind of feel of bootleg, bit rough, not quite straight off the soundboard, not recorded for a payphone or something like that at the back of the venue, but it does have that kind of rawness to it. It's not as clean and polished, if you like, as some of the more notable live albums, but it is a good recording, or they are good recordings, a good live effort. Some cracking material in the form of Black Plague, Evil's Rising, got a brilliant version of Debt of Pain there as well, Blood of the Saints, Do Unto Others. You just got good stuff. Really, you want more. However, this is good. This will have to suffice. And as I say, musicianship is tight. You have got sort of ex-members of the likes of Dark Angel, of Agent Steel, in fact. They've got good pedigree. So I would say, if you like your thrash, if you like good old-fashioned heavy metal, then definitely check out Holy Terror. If you like Agent Steel, very much, there is quite a resonance, if you like, of that band there. If you like Agent Steel, bands like that. If you like some of the more recent bands that I have talked about here on the channel, such as Red Shark, for example, then you're definitely gonna like this band. Just show off some of this cool vinyl here. Although I would say the back is a little bit sparse. That's more of a white vinyl on the back there. But pretty cool. You've got white with a red splatter on Terror and Submission. Definitely check this album out. Absolutely. Check out Guardians of the Netherworld, because that is probably my album highlight. Also, you probably want to check out Black Plague and Evil's Rising. They are just absolutely killer tracks. Love those in particular. Then we've got our second album from 1988. We've got Mind Wars. Tracks to check out from there: Judas Reward, Debt of Pain, and Do Unto Others. Definitely. Cool. I think this was a purple. No, totally wrong. This is a nice red vinyl. That does look cool, I must admit. That is very nice colour. It's very nice red, almost like a blood red. Can't go wrong with a bit of coloured vinyl. I know I always say it, but coloured vinyl just seems so much more, I don't know, special than just traditional black vinyl. Nothing wrong with just good old-fashioned black vinyl, but I always think a nice coloured disc really stands out. It's more eye-catching. Can't remember what the colour scheme on this El Revengo is. Ah, this is the purple one. And that's a nice purple. I like that a lot. Very cool. As I say, you can probably pick these up on, I think I bought them from a seller on eBay, new and sealed. I think all of them together was about £25, so it really was dirt cheap. I bought these a few months ago, and I've been listening to this band a lot recently. I had a couple of very long trips for work, so I've been taking this box set with me in the car and basically just listening to the album after album, disc after disc, and it's just brilliant, to be honest. So memorable. Brilliant vocals as well. As I say, you've got actually talent there. You've actually got talented singer. Memorable stuff. Very memorable. Good heavy metal, speed metal, thrashing greatness. So there you have it. Holy Terror from the USA. I think they were spread around a bit, but I think they all ended up in the kind of Los Angeles area. I think they were originally from Seattle or Washington. But a great band. An absolute benchmark speed metal band. Check out Holy Terror. Check out those cracking albums. You will not regret it. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. Do feel free to share your thoughts and opinions on the great Holy Terror. Of course, feel free to like and subscribe. As always, it's very much appreciated. We're generating a real little following here, which is so cool. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you for all the comments and interaction. It's just what we do. Love chatting about metal. Thanks very much, my friends. Check back soon for more reviews and recommendations. Above all, take care and stay heavy.